The first question is, let's see. Why are building teams and disrupting business so important to you?
Well, building teams are important because I don't think anybody accomplishes anything by themselves. Anybody tells you that did that is not acknowledging the fact that somebody helped them along the way. So for me, building teams is how you make sure that your innovation is always accurate. Yes, you're going to make a decision to go forward as a CEO, but you always want to build a team so you can have differences of opinion. Why is disrupting so important to me? Because I always look for where the issues are and see if I can solve them. Because if you can solve a problem that other people can't, that inherently builds value. That's kind of why I always do it. And you can build businesses that become under 200, 300, $400 million businesses very quickly if you're able to solve it and execute.
I love it. I love it. All right. The next question is, how do you define the following 4 words? Success, failure, confidence, and sacrifice.
Entrepreneur. I mean,
there you go. One word.
All those things happen on a daily basis, right? So if you look at the success, you're going to have wins every day. We celebrate them. We text and Slack and do things to celebrate them. You have failures every day. And you have to be able to acknowledge that. But I think in your failures, you learn a lot. So our failures led us to the best way to deploy our network. Sacrifices, you have sacrifices from team, you have sacrifices from family, you have sacrifices from time. Like the one thing in life you can't get back is time. So, when you're building businesses and starting companies, that's not a 9-to-5 job. And so you have to have buy-in from your family and friends who understand that you're going through that process.
Yeah, it's important.
And what was the last word?
Confidence.
Confidence is always built from many successes and failures that you overcome. So your confidence comes every day. You build on it, you build on it, you build on it, and you kind of take those steps in. And at one point, way back in the day when we were doing Cutco knives, I got a quote that said, "Fake it till you make it." Right? And while I've abbreviated that, sometimes you just have to have say, "I'm going to do it." And trust that you are going to build a team that's going to help you get there.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's go to the next question. What is your biggest personal and professional challenge that you've ever had?
Professional challenge, biggest professional challenge I had. I think I tackle those every time I launch a business. It's always been, can you really accomplish what you're trying to do? And I'll probably go to some specifics. Delivering the IP into a very difficult environment in the airport was our number one challenge in the beginning of launching Network, right? On a personal level, I think personally, it's losing people in your life, right? And then how you take that loss and then live inspired for them and because of them. And that took me a process of doing, because I lost multiple people when I was younger, and then not being angry and appreciating the time you did have with them. So from a personal, that was the biggest challenge I had to learn and grow from.
Okay, the last social media question is, what advice you have for someone who is trying to build a TV network? You kind of touched on it a little bit already, but
I think if you're building a television network, ask yourself, what audience you're trying to serve. And then I always tackle things from the customer experience first and then build backwards. I think a lot of people are building things. If I could just say a blunt statement, I see a lot of things being built with no cognizant thinking of what the consumer is thinking. Mm-hmm. They're saying they're in the mindset of, if I build it, they'll come. I don't believe that.